Hello friends, welcome to Inspire Learners podcast. My name is Darius. To moment I'll be your host. Please let's begin with a word of prayer. Most high, glorious God, enlighten the darkness of my heart and give me true faith, certain hope, and perfect charity, sense of knowledge, Lord, that I may carry out your holy and true command. Amen. Yes friends, today is the 23rd upload as regards our series at the Inspire Learners platform. If it's your first time to hear this platform, please make sure you visit our site at inlearners.org. There, you will see a timetable for the past presentations and discussions, but also you have a free access to the papers, including the one for today. Besides, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out the following uploads in our series. Today we are honored to have the best person. Today we have Brother Ezekiel Katemi, a first-year student of Masters in Arts at Jordan University College. Brother Katemi, pleasure to have you.
Thank you too, a pleasure to have you as well.
Okay, Brother Katemi is going to lead us into a discussion on philosophy. Brother Katemi has prepared a poem called The Best Person. That's why I like to call him the best. I hope you are the best person too. Alright, brother, please present us to your poem so that we can dive into the discussion later afterwards.
What comes in your mind when I say a best person? Can you reflect? Are you the best person? And how can you be one? I am not Homer of the ancient times, the one who brought the story of the theogony, the one who gives us the states of the shield of Heracles, the man who recognizes the series of divine generations, the friend of Homer, the author of the Iliad and Odysseys, the best person they were, the fundamental questions God their mother, morality came to be. I recall Plato, the man in the classical time, the man who said no to poets, the man who never saw the glimpse of morality in poetry, the sage who tempted to be imperfect and unreal. The best person he is, he was limited in truth, being in the domain of forms. Could you forget Aristotle, the father of abstraction, the rover from the senses to metaphysics, wayfaring from the poetic imitation to the substantial truth, the best person who chooses to understand from the periphery because that's what there is to understand. How could it have been without Arthur Schopenhauer with his pessimistic language of art? How could the view of human existence be, of the swing and the boredom be grasped? It's because art is beautiful, so that's what makes a best person. How about Zarathustra, in which the language which Nietzsche portrays the Superman, in which everyone must light with his blood? How could a person then light with the unfamiliar blood? How could be the best person lighting using unfamiliar blood? Could you remember William Shakespeare with the belief that every wound can be healed? Could we come to that understanding? Could we heal our society? Could we solve our problems eventually? Could we deal our traumas with the sense of art? How best person could we become without that? Do you remember Maya Angelou? Do you recall the Still I Rise? Did you reflect on the Stay Alive? Are you rising? Are you alive? Are you the best person? She goes as, we delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. We see best persons, yet we rarely admit the changes they have gone through to become the best persons. You can become the best person. You can help people become best people. Better than the way they were. Good than the way you were. Good persons they have been. Better persons they can become. We can bend the world more to truth and morality. We can bend the world to having better personalities. For those who read the Bible, call B. Ezekiel, the prophet. For those who have watched Power, remember Ezekiel close. Or some would say Zeke, some think Zeke, from which you remember Professor Katemi, I suppose. Others opt to call me James, like one of my lecturers does. Others would simply call me Katemi, which is a name I like as it connects me to my ancestral line. All these names represent this posthume with the news of the best person. You admire the house with the large rooms, large enough to make you feel as if you're just an atom in it. Well-ventilated windows, enough to collect oxygen from your garden, located outside your house, with wonderful indoor bathrooms, the ones which accommodate you for hours, the kitchen with a good appearance, wonderful sinks to never get bored as you cleanse the dishes. The admiration is great. The admiration is good. You admire the car, that which you have been dreaming since the day you were a kid, imagining of its wheels and its strength. Some would call it different names, that which sounds sweet to their tongues and their ears to hear, that which unravels beautifully with the sound waving from the engine. The admiration is great. The admiration is good. You need a best person, a person who will accompany you in the house you admire, the one who will foster the greatness of the admiration itself in your house, the one who will be present with you in that house, the one who will give you the sense of friendship behind the closed doors and off the rooms, taking a good time together at the garden around your house, the one that will give you the reason to spend hours in the bathrooms of your house, a person who will take you back to the days of childhood and spending a wonderful time in the kitchen and the dining table of that house. You need a person, you need to become a good person, and you need another good person. You need a person, the one who will take you adventure with you in that car you dreamt about, the one who will never be silent because nothing is left to talk about. Instead, a person will always see the reason to talk to you with gestures of love and gestures of kindness while covering different kilometers in that car. The person Aristotle talks about, the person who is rational and relatable in a range of virtue, full of love and character, the responsible one, and that's the quality personality. You need that person. You need a good person. Find yourself a kind of a person. Be one that can do that for someone. Be one that can do that for yourself. Give me a reason to why love is wonderful, high quality emotion, aligned with Mahatma Gandhi. be the change you want to see. You can be the light in the uncertainties. You can light up the candle in your relationship. Find yourself a kind of a person. Then you find a person who is like you, the one who matches your energy. Find that person. Find yourself the kind of a person who is your best friend, the kind of a person who seeks the relationship with God, the kind of a person who loves knowledge and hates ignorance, the kind of a person who chooses love over hate and self-indulgence, the kind of a person who collects you with love, the kind of a person who makes you laugh relentlessly until your cheeks hurt from jiggling so much that you have to place them together with your hands, the kind of a person who qualifies your time where hours pass as though they were minutes, the kind of a person with whom you want to take every adventure, live through every experience, and witness all the highs and the lows of life. Find yourself an imperfectly perfect person, the kind of a person who teaches you about love, friendship, peace, and so much more. Because once you have this person in your life, you will never be scared to love again. Find yourself the kind of a person who not only loves you but respects every particle of your existence. The kind of a person who looks at you through a deep set, generous lids with an affection that could envelop you entirely and set you free. The kind of a person who admires how beautiful you are with your big brown eyes and the small pores that go to your face, with your big soft smile and bed head, with your sudden emotions and overwhelmingly huge heart. The kind of a person who not only accepts each thick layer and each massive fragment of your being, but loves you more and more for it every day. Find yourself a kind of person who pushes you to do better, to do good, to work harder, and to excel in your personal and professional life. The kind of a person who wants the best for you and will do everything in their power to support you. The kind of a person who believes in you more than you believe in yourself. Find yourself a kind of a person with a beautiful heart, not necessarily a beautiful face, because beautiful people are always good, but good people are always beautiful. You need love. You need a lover who says, I will erase your pain, not that I wish you will erase your pain. I'm responsible for this pregnancy girl, not that I wish you help, or saying about the child, which is telling you kill the child. The one who takes responsibility of their choices, rather than who shies away off. You need a lover who helps you solve the problems, the ones crumbling your heart, those which are keeping you up at night, the problems which slowly take away your smile and your positive energy, those which make you feel as though you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. You need a lover who gives you the energy through the light they give in their words, who kisses you on your forehead saying, I can be the shoulder you rest your head on when your worries are too much to bear. I can give you my heart in which to pour all your pain and to have nothing but love left within you. I can be your friend. I can be your solace. I can be the one who listens to everything you keep borrowing. I can be the one who don't judge you, the one who always care for you. You need love. I hope you find love that gives you the strength to love. Love that doesn't only heals you, but allows you to help heal others. A love that does not weaken you and breaks down every uncertainty you had about yourself. A love that teaches you that you are worth loving and you should never think otherwise. I hope you find a love that guides you as you walk towards your dreams. A love that holds you as you cross every barrier in your life. I hope you find a love that makes you stronger, wiser, and kinder. A love that only brings you down to build you up in ways you never imagined before. A love that guides you, becomes the right and the reason for which you shine. A love that doesn't break you if it leaves. I hope you find a lover who is your best friend, your companion, and your best person, and your equal in every way. A lover who never leaves you, but if they did, then you will still be okay, because you are the best person, because they teach you that you are not incomplete without them. Love who makes you feel whole, but doesn't weaken you, because you are the best person. Love who shows you you're worthy and teaches you to put yourself first, because you are the best person. Love who cherishes your soul instead of your body, because you are the best person, not imposing your body. Love as kind as wind, as soft as feathers, and as bright as sunlight. You are the best person. I hope you find a lover within this lover, and I hope that one day they find you too. You know what? Guess what? Pick Grandma's line. Sit down, be humble. Humble enough to love. Humble enough to respect other people. Humble enough to understand that you need to let go of grudges, anger, and hate. Humble enough to say no to the negative influence that come along with your life. Humble enough to put your responsibility before you demand for your right. Humble enough to understand that in order to be loved, you need to love. Humble enough to know that in order to pass exams, you need to conquer the temptation of not studying. Humble enough to know that pregnancy is one of the results of your choice, not the choice of the life in the endometrium wars. So expect it when you fail to say no to sexuality before you legalize abortion. Shame on you to think that you got it accidentally, while the pants never went down accidentally. Be the best person, because that's what we call give a valuable meaning to life. Yet, here we go, as Fabrizio Romano would put it. I'm short of words, because the time is short. A call to everyone I would make is to always be an instrument of peace in Francis's attitude, to always bring people to peace and go with the peace to people, to always effect the desirable acts where there is undesirable acts. It's me, Ezekiel Katemi. Stay put.
Oh my God. Oh, thank you very much, brother, for presenting. Mr. Katemi, thank you for that presentation. It was a good poem indeed. I really enjoyed the flow, the way you arranged it, from the way you introduced it with philosophers and thinkers and poets in the middle, like people like Shakespeare. Them, you began like you are trying to help us find our identity, but also you as too, like you think I am this or you think I am that, reminding us of certain philosophers. But again, you almost dive into giving advice, because we need that person. So you presented us with some kind of an archetype person in whom we should find meaning. You know, the human life journey is almost in seeking meaning. So we almost move in life seeking meaning. what is the meaning of this, what am I here for, the meaning of all this. So thank you for presenting us such an archetype person for whom we can find meaning, and we can really find that meaning only when we can find love. Thank you very much. But again, as you are down concluding your poem, you almost saying that we could be that person. So it's almost you turned it 180 degrees. So you could be that person, or you are that person. You are the best person. Don't be discouraged by this. Don't give up. You are the best person. So it's almost like the kind of mirroring. We are looking at far away for the best person, and again the mirror turns and says, "It's you. You are the best person." Thank you very much. And of course, that point of saying we are the best person, or I am the best person, I really love that, because we are living in a culture of despair. Most people don't find meaning in life. We hear people hanging up themselves, they're killing themselves, people fleeing their homes, marriages breaking up. People don't find meaning. So thank you very much for reminding us that we could be that best person. Thank you for mentioning St. Francis of Assisi knows our Father. Yeah, thank you very much. Maybe anyway, what can you be saying generally in this discussion, this presentation of a poem? Perhaps I can get you into kind of a question. I thought in the midway, as you are continuing the poem, I thought this poem must be a dedication for your future wife. Because Mr. Ezekiel Katemi, you are a lay person in the church. We love and enjoy that. But also you are a student. Who exactly could be the one aimed at in this poem?
Actually, my very, very target is my fellow young people. You know, we are in the time of so much tumultuous time, highs and lows people are experiencing, but they don't even know the kind of the things they're experiencing, and then making wrong conclusions. But as I reminded you, you need to find the meaning in yourself. You need to find love. You know, there's this African saying, like, when a naked person gives you a shirt, then you need to think, like, is this person really giving to me? You can't claim that you love somebody if at all you yourself you don't love yourself. You see, and by loving yourself is not cupcaking yourself, is knowing that this is the reality of the world. There are hardships you have to bear. There are challenges you need to overcome. Just because you exist, there's no way you can extend to find someone who will fulfill you without fulfilling yourself first. Sometimes even when they fulfill you in the hard way, and it becomes hurtful because you are not. People, as you said, suicide is increasing. People are entering in marriage not knowing actually what they need to take. They are not knowing their responsibilities. Yes. Others are aborting. Abortion is one of the very, very newly thing traumatizing people. But we need to know that this is also a choice. When you choose to be pregnant, then there's a precept to that. There's sexual intercourse. Then before sexual intercourse, then there are some stands you took to take it. So people need to be responsible. People need to be responsible so that we can solve the problems we have. If not 100%, but at least we can reduce such problems.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Ezekiel Katemi. Pleasure to have you still. Okay. Maybe before I welcome another person to question or make some interactions here and there regarding the presentation, maybe I would ask one question. what exactly could have moved you to write this? Yeah, you went through it. It's quite a long kind. When you were in secondary school, we are presented with short poems like "Live and Let Die." Such kind of poems, and we asked many questions. Who is the writer? Who is this? Who is this? Who is this one? Who is to live and let die? What does the title mean? So there are always poets. I really appreciate poets because I believe poets have a kind of world where they can perceive reality and try to put it in a way that echoes their heart, their souls. So poets write their souls for sure. They draw their souls in their papers. Thank you very much. So maybe get us into that. I don't know if I've asked Brother Newton's question. Okay, you can still keep the question in another way. But get us into that. What could have moved you to this? Because maybe before that, it wouldn't be expected to present a philosophical thing, just a poem. So what could have moved you into that? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Growing is continuous, and as you grow biologically, you also grow intellectually, and so yeah. So I'm a student of philosophy, and philosophy discusses diversity of things about life. It speaks of a lot of things, but there is always something that you always take home, especially when you want to put it and reflect it into your life. My poem is based on my own experiences, what I have learned in class, the different philosophical stands. I find there are some philosophers who are saying no to poetry, but when you ask why they say no, because they take some stands, like realities like this, realities like that. There are some others explain the meaning of life. Then you find that this is actually touching me in one way or another. Then when you make it into a reflection, into your own meditation, then you have no clue if at all what you are thinking can be presented in the paper like this. But this is just a kind of meditation, my own meditation, influenced from different thinkers and my own experience of life. So actually, in the end of this, I said I'm short of words, but actually a lot in my mind. Just within time, okay, let me end here. But a lot in my mind, because reflection never ends, because it goes hand in hand with the end of human life. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Okay, now I'm going to welcome Brother Newton Norbert for any contribution. Brother, welcome.
I appreciate. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Before saying anything, I need to confess something to you, brothers. When I came, I had Mr. Katemi, Ezekiel Katemi, a master's in arts of philosophy. Then I said, this is going to be an epic. I was very, very happy for that. Then I've had poetic. I said, what? Poetic. I am not a man of poems and poetic. He said before here that others are against poet. But I said, man, poets, there's something good here. But after hearing the poem and poetic, it's very rare for me to be touched by a poem. I don't read them. It's very rare. But I want to give you 3 A's. That's I appreciate, I acknowledge, and admire the work. Very great work. It has made me to think about it, to think about a lot of things. So it's a very good work. You have touched me through a poem. I appreciate. I really appreciate, acknowledge, and I appreciate and admire the work. First of all, some comments, some contribution on the poem. One thing that has really fascinated me about the poem is it has touched from Homer, you brought Homer, you brought Aristotle, Plato, Arthur Schopenhauer, even Fabrizio Romano. They quote from Fabrizio. It's a very deep poem. In one word, it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. And it is touching our contemporary issues and our contemporary problems. And one of the best things that I really loved, keep it short, one of the things is you tell us in the poem that we need to find a good person. At the same time, you're telling us to become one. So that has really touched me. That we need to find that good person. And at the same time, we need also to become that good person. And as you are reading, you talked about various issues about abortion, about the crisis that we are undergoing in various issues. I was asking myself, who is that good person? Okay, who good person has which qualities? I was asking, that's the question. We see we have a lot of issues, and the issues that you brought. Now we need to find a good person, and we need to become that good person. Now I was asking myself, what are the qualities of that good person? My conclusion is, you can correct me, my conclusion after meditating and listening to you, that good person is a philosopher. To me, a good person is a philosopher. Who is a philosopher? You talk about love, one who loves wisdom, who has the truth. That to me is, a philosopher is the good person. One who knows the truth, and not just any truth, the objective truth, the real truth, the objective truth. That good person that we need to find, or the good person that we need to become, is the philosopher. And we have seen that we talk about that, we need to find a good person. To me, I can say maybe it's Jesus Christ, the greatest, is the truth. Or I can say the Blessed Virgin Mary, to me is the greatest philosophers of all time, because he loved wisdom. So it depends to who you talk about, Prophet Ezekiel and anyone, who is that good. I see any good person that I've encountered in my life is a philosopher, who owns the truth. So that you have challenged me that I need to become a good person. And to me, a good person is a philosopher, one who loves the wisdom, who loves the truth. I appreciate very much Brother Ezekiel, Katemi. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget this is what you have said, and it's very rare to me touched by a point, as I said. Maybe one question about what you have presented on the good person and mixing up with the philosophy, very good, and the contemporary issue. Now a person hears this, a young man hears this poem, and he wants really to become that good person. He sees the things that are surrounding you. You said, my question was, what motivated you to write this masterpiece? Then as you have told us. Now a person hears this, or he reads this, because it's going to be in our platform. So dear listeners, please go and read it well. Very good. So a person reads this, hears about this, and I know this is it's a development. You'll develop this thing. Now, what comes in my mind, his mind or her mind, is what is his first step? What's the first step now to become a good person? Okay, you've told us a good person is this and this and this. Now I'm touched. I've seen for a long time I'm not a good person. I've destroyed my life. Now I'm touched by this work of Mr. Ezekiel Katemi. I want to be a good person. How do you advise this person? What advice do you give him to become that good person? Where should he start?
Oh, thank you so much for the question. And thank you for your choosing a stand and also helping me to understand the philosopher. And thank you for defining the philosopher as the person who loves wisdom. Actually, understanding the things that need a person to become a good person. In the first place, we need to understand what is best and what is good. Now we go back to language in philosophy, linguistic analysis of the terms. Yes, what's the best? Something to be best, and what is something which is good? Actually, people know what is best, and people know what is good from their own perspectives. But do we have the common understanding of the good? Do we have the common understanding of the best? You see, that's why you find at some levels someone achieves something in the way they could, then they would say this is the good, because their ability was limited in achieving to that level. But because I need to affirm my stand, like I'm a philosopher, and the concept of the good as discussed from the ancient times, where does reality come from? What is really? Plato comes telling us there is the world of forms, in which you find the good itself. And when you speak of the world of senses and the world of forms, then the world of senses is the copy of to the world of forms. The world of forms, the truth and the goodness belongs to the world of forms. Then this is the reason he refuted poetry, because he says there's no goodness you can find in poetry. So poetry can't lead someone into being good. And now the Aristotelian understanding of the metaphysical understanding of the good, there's no way you can achieve that goodness without ignoring this understanding of poetry. And from the sensible level, that's why he goes with his notion of abstraction to deduce the understanding of being qua being per se. And being per se is this what goodness I mean. The goodness which transcends physics, the goodness which transcends normal experience, the goodness which transcends the culture of your society, the goodness which transcends the things that have influenced you to be the person you are. And from Aristotle, he speaks of different levels. There's the sensible level. You need to overcome that. You need to do away with the attachments. When you do away with the physical attachments, which actually might drag you to these vices we are speaking about, you see, we need to go to the mathematical level. Then is mathematical level enough? No, he says it's not enough. Then we need to go to the metaphysical level. Then what is the metaphysical level? The metaphysical level is free prejudice, free mathematical quantities, free sensible assumptions, and from that's where you can attain the real goodness, and from which actually you attain the most virtues, which is actually bringing in here like the most thing, that much goal that a human being is destined to have is happiness. And how do you achieve this happiness? You need to transcend from these levels, I mean the sensible level and the mathematical level, to reach to this climax. And from there, there's the possibility of now understanding the good. Now it needs a lot of work to make sure that you are overcoming your sensible attractions, your attachments. You're overcoming the numbers, the mathematics, the ones you calculate and influence you to be ringing in there. Then you need now to understand the metaphysical goodness, that which is actually intended here. And from there, coming to understanding of, you said Christ as the ultimate goodness and the truth, the way and life. You see, there's Thomas Aquinas who comes to Christianize the philosophy of Aristotle. He goes with the same understanding, that from this understanding from who you are, then you need to transcend to understanding God. From nature, the way you see, you can transcend it to understand. Don't end in nature. Don't say God is the tree. Think of God who has the power moving this tree moving, keeping this tree the way it is. You see, from there, then you are free from errors, you are free from prejudices, you are free from vices, and therefore you can become even a saint in the Christian thinking. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's great. It really opens the door for discussion, interactions on so many things. You know, I really have to appreciate the second time and again the magic of poetry. I think we are going to have a section on poetry in our platform for sure. Okay, thank you very much. I think we can discuss for a day now. May I take this opportunity to thank you for your time to prepare, but again to have time with us in our platform. Or maybe what's your word, just to summarize this all, just in a word, like a minute or a half. What do you say at the end of all this? after your presentation.
Let us accept humanity, and because we need to accept it, let us accept all the things which are coming with our humanity. If I am hungry, then I have to go work, get food in the right way. If I need to excel in my studies, the only option there is studying. If I need anything, as long as I need it, I need to be responsible for it. Then it's a call to everybody to always seek peace. Peace of yourself, then it's that peace that you can take into others. Like Francis of Assisi says, I don't know, he's my good friend. Yeah, he's my good friend. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Even when you can't, when you reach to him, he's going to aid with that. By seeking peace, then the rest of the goodness in you and that you can take to others, it's inevitable.
Oh, thank you very much. Find peace, share peace. Peace is something shareable. Okay, thank you. Then may I welcome you to say this last prayer as we conclude. My God, my all, who are you, O God, most dear, and who am I, your worthless, useless, little worm of a servant? Most holy Lord, I should like to love you. O Lord God, I've given up to you, O my heart and my body, and I yearn passionately to do still more, if only I knew how. Amen.